You may not recall this tale, you may not have heard, for all the years that have passed to stain the spoken word. By a fire near a road, here within a warm abode, listen to a saga ode, here these ancient ghosts behold. I was born a high king's daughter, I was born with 5 fine brothers, to the north my birthright laid, the warrior's province of Ulade. Father was a mighty man, he did rule with gentle hand. I watched his steps my brothers take, they trained and breathed a fighter's fate. In chariots they crossed the fields, the sign of clan stained all their shields. Painted bodies hid within the ever mist we called our friend. The druid's word was sacred, say, we knew of fate as well as fay. The flute and harp and bard to sing, the folk to bow before their king. This way of life was old and true, held fast within an ancient hue. Our hall was bright and dawned in heather, my brother's hair like raven feather. To match my own of midnight dark, I had their fire in my heart. Green my eyes as a rolling moor, skin as pale as the ocean shore. My hands I claimed were just as strong, to wield our blades and sing our songs. He taught me the way of weapon, spear and sword and shields to threaten. I trained through rain and wind and snow, it was all I wished to know. I bled my hand by pommel blows, I slept and dreamt of ancient foes. At last I cast my sword before me, father's eyes portrayed my glory. I held my father's chin of grey, to hover o'er my kin this day. He smiled wide, he smiled deep, he barely laughed, he looked to me. His voice, I'll never forget its tone, it rests within my chest alone. In many moons a season passed, the net of a mighty threat was cast. It blanketed the land I loved, staining all we knew in blood. Now you'll see our strength at full, now you'll see our wrath ungloved. You could hear our howls of rage echo through the mountain range. We ground our woe, we sharpened steel, the wounds well gift will never heal. Upon our arms a sign of victory, to stain their brow in pain and misery. The horn of war did call us forth, we marched with passion from the north. I marched behind my brother's feet, a darkened field of war we'd meet. We clashed and cried and screamed and bled, we fought and roared until they fled. Oh, a blow on father's chest did bleed, to lay him low upon his knees. We promised him we'd fight till death, and watched him take his final breath. We brought him home by the light of stars, and mother wept hard o'er his scars. We buried him in ancient stone, to face the more broken bone. We gathered all our finest men, and drove them far through rain and wind. I held my father's eyes in mine, swore to the gods his foe I'd find. They came upon us from the east, and ravens waited on their feast. One by one my brother's wails fell to legend into tales. Alone I knelt beneath the sky, for my great loss did dark clouds cry. My eyes a blur, my sorrow strong, to agony my heart belonged. Blood to stain my tongue and hands, fate to grasp like shifting sands. Within my soul a wound did weep, my heart a bruise for me to keep. My wheel it tangled on a seam, and rose into my throat to scream. The words I cried lived there still, keening near that ancient hill. Promise you I'll see you dead, swear to you I'll take your head. On the trail I hunted sin, I caught the scent, I knew the end. My kin I knew that I'd soon see, father, brothers, wait for me. I found him lying there asleep, and kicked him standing to his feet. I drew my sword and bared my teeth, I swore to him his own defeat. I screamed a cry of rage and woe, and slashed him deep down to the bone. A warrior was he just the same, a match for my own vengeful fame. His steel it found a home in me, but not before my victory. I I would not let him see me die. He never knew my truth, my lie. I freed his blood red from its cage, crimson river spewed in rage. I smiled at a sinking frame, whispered in his ear my name. Though wounded deep, I did not fall. I claimed his life in his own hall. I counted all his breaths until, when they stopped, I felt his kill. I gladly waited for my time, and I did pass from life to find my kin. To them I proudly ran. They beckoned me to join my clan. Now I wander more and sure, mother to this ancient lore. In the fog you'll see my eyes, glowing bright past hair of night. I was slain, oh, I was slain. Here I'm buried with my blade. The wind and land does know my story, one of honor, blood, and glory. I was slain, oh, I was slain, but my death was not in vain. My tale I prayed you've listened well. Cross my clan, this be your hell. Slain in haunted, buried plain, none shall know your place nor name.
Thank you.